In 2023, a crack commando unit of retro podcasters joined forces on a panel at LA Comic-Con, but were sent to Comic-Con jail for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped. Today, still wanted by 80s nerds, they are very easy to find. If you have an 80s nostalgia problem, if no one else can help, maybe you can hire the Night Boys.
Why so glum, chum?
I lost all my trick-or-treat candy.
Take some of mine.
Wow! Hershey bars, Mr. Goodbar, Kit Kats, Rulos, whatchamacallits, Reese's, all my favorites. Let's go get some more.
Sure. Let me go ask my mom.
Nobody says boo to Hershey's.
Woo! 80s Kids Unite is back. Holy macaroni and popsicle sticks. Hot off the heels of LA Comic-Con this year. Myself, Corey, who's joining us. Diallo, who's joining us. The three of us were at LA Comic-Con earlier this year to have some really amazing panels. And then Wayne was in Florida, because flying from Florida to LA, that's not easy. Wayne, our brother from our Florida coastal mother, welcome back to the show.
Guys, I am so excited to be here. By the way, I love all of the posts and everything about the panel and everything that was going on at LA Comic-Con. It looks so cool. I was sorry to miss it. Really sorry.
It was
You
really
were there
special.
in spirit, brother. You were there in spirit.
I wholeheartedly echo that.
I also love the new shirts. My goodness, the gem, the gem logo and all that. That was so awesome looking. It was truly outrageous.
I've waited for that. If you go to, I think they're all in Podcasting After Dark's TeePublic store and $2 late fees TeePublic store. Links are in our show notes for that. You can get the gem inspired logo. Wayne's wearing the Superpowers inspired logo. Diallo's wearing the gem inspired logo. I'm wearing the Young Ones inspired logo because I'm a huge fan of the TV show The Young Ones. We got to bring that to TV Obscura at some point down the road. And Corey's wearing his authentic official Podcasting After Dark t-shirt, which is always super rad too. Looks great in the winter, in the fall, in the spring, and the summer. But it's spooky season. We're getting ready for Halloween. This is going to kick off right before Halloween. This episode's going to drop a week before, I believe, or 2 weeks before. Anyways, we are excited to talk about our favorite Halloween candy that we love to get. Maybe we can throw in a little caveat of the ones we didn't like. When we got we're like, oh God, what's this? And what we toted it around in. So before we get into all of that, I wanna hopefully this is okay with you, Wayne. I know you keep it a secret. You keep it close to your heart as far as Halloween decoration or Halloween costumes are concerned. But yes. You and your family and Emily, you guys always do a theme every year, right?
Yeah, so like my daughter Emily, she's the coolest kid in the world on the East Coast, and she has cerebral palsy, and ever since she was a baby, we've always incorporated her wheelchair into our costumes, and so I've kind of over the years, it's always been her choice. She's picked it, but we've been everything from Ghostbusters and turned her wheelchair into like Ecto-1. We've been the Ninja Turtles and been the Turtle Van, and we've done different things. And in some years, we've just over decorated it just because it was part of like a themed. I think one year we were like the Little Mermaid characters, and we just turned it into the ocean. So
wow,
yeah,
amazing.
And by the time this drops, we will have already unveiled our costumes. We kind of do like a big reveal post every year, and so I don't mind telling you guys that this year we're getting a little wicked, and she specifically wanted to be Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, and so everybody else, my wife is dressing up as Galinda, the Good Witch. Our friend Diana is going to be Elphaba, and because I am big and portly, I get to be the Cowardly Lion. I do not fit into the Tin Man suit.
I thought you might be, flying monkey or something like that.
Or I was thinking you were going to just paint your head green and just be the eye,
All,
great
yeah,
and
the all
powerful
great.
Oz.
Yeah, the wizard.
I was outvoted. It's like
Okay.
I just get told what I'm doing. I'm just the guy who salutes and executes, man. I build it, and whatever she wants me to do, I do.
I love that. And yeah, if y'all haven't seen that, go to Wayne's personal page is also on. It's on like the posability page as well, right?
Yeah, we put it on like our nonprofit page, possibility.life. We put it on Wayne J. Cordova, and I'll also throw it on. She has a Team Emily page, so we throw it on there too.
Right. Y'all got to check that out. I love the theme. It only lasts for so long with kids.
Seriously.
This theme this year, we were pivoting. I can reveal it here on the show. It's an exclusive. Bodhi watched the movie Pixels recently, the Adam Sandler movie, which is actually not that bad. It's actually pretty entertaining. And Max Headroom pops up and he goes, "Who's that guy?" And I go, "That's Max Headroom." And he wants to be Max Headroom for Halloween. So,
That's awesome.
and it's going to be an 80s themed Halloween. Shocker! Shocker! In the Schaefer household.
Hi, Max Headroom here with... This is my guest. I heard you were big time in the old pop biz. Well, I'm going to take that as a no comment. So, nitty-gritty time. What I'm talking about, and you're not, is that more people prefer the new refreshing taste of Coke over Pepsi. Sweating? It's true. More people are, as we Cokeologists say, catching the wave. Catch it if you can. Catch the wave. Coke.
I was just saying the other day, like they haven't done a Max Headroom remake, and I'm kind of curious as to why, because I think I would enjoy it. I don't know.
I feel like the character's so attached to the actor. I'm forgetting his name
Matt
right
Frewer.
now.
Matt
Frewer.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like I feel like we're never like going to see Freddy Krueger moving forward, which is the nice thing about like Scream and Jason Voorhees and stuff because they all have masks. But like of all those horror icons, Freddy was just so attached to Robert Englund, and they tried and it failed miserably. So
yeah,
well, yeah, aren't they doing a Nightmare on Elm Street reboot or something?
I heard a
Matt
rumor.
Frewer's still alive,
Yeah.
I think, so he could still kind of pull it off. I just think there's a retroness to it that I actually think can make it work today is the only thing. So
yeah, no, I mean I totally agree. It's just he was so perfect though.
Yeah.
But there's no reason at this point, with all the nostalgia happening, to even bring back Max Headroom as a Coca-Cola spokesperson and all that. And Matt could still do it. It was computer graphics. You know what I mean? He could come out there and
Actually, it was I mean, it was makeup originally, which is amazing. If you see the behind the scenes stuff, like that was all like makeup, but now you could do it as computer graphics, and then of course he could just do the voice for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking don't set your bars too high when it comes to our costume because I'm not going to go full on with the makeup on his head, depending on what he's willing to put on his face. But he will definitely
set expectations.
Please set it really low. And I told Bodhi, I'm like, during the day, because you can't wear masks or anything on your head at school, even a box, because so he's wearing a black suit, because of Max Headroom, and I'm like, well, we could slick your hair back and you could be Neo for the Matrix. So we'll be Neo in the Matrix during the day, and then you can be Max Headroom at night. I do want to bring Max Headroom to TV Obscura. That is, of course, on Podcasting After Dark.
I would definitely.
Yeah.
I love that show so much. I can actually quote the original pilot episode.
Well, I think you just planted the seed, Diallo, and it's going to sprout later on, hopefully this year, because we only got a couple more months left before the end of the year. But it's Halloween time. Corey, Diallo, are you guys dressing up for Halloween?
I haven't talked to Myra about it yet. I don't know what our nephew is doing. He usually, goes out with his parents and everything. We try to sync up with them if we can. So it doesn't always work out if we do. Back in the day, I used to love, getting elaborate costumes and stuff, but Myra's schedule, sometimes she has to work. It's a little wonky sometimes. So worst comes to worst, I've done it before, is I literally just put my Boba Fett helmet on and it goes Uncle Fett to with my nephew. But But yeah, I had nothing planned right now, which is, sad, but I've been making it up by watching horror movies almost every night. I'm not doing a 31 for 31, but I am watching a shit ton of horror movies.
Wow, nice, nice. And Diallo, are you dressing up? I know by the end of this taping, you're going to a special Carrie screening in Southern California.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not going to dress up, and that's a whole dilemma for me for that. I just like I saw you have to dress up, and I'm like, I don't know about that.
Well, you could wear that 80s Kids Unite t-shirt.
Yeah, right, right.
He's a night boy.
I don't get anything out of costumes. So I just like, but I love looking at them. It's like like when we're at Comic-Con and stuff, I love looking at them. I just like putting them on myself. I'm just like, I don't know, whatever.
To be fair, though, honestly, to be fair, in this day and age, as a bunch of nostalgia nerds, right? Every day we dress up.
Yeah,
right.
We got the thing. The costumes back in the '80s were so basic. It's like if I was the Fonz, I literally had a piece of plastic in front of me that said the word Fonz on it, and like that's just it. Is like every day we got like we're all dressed up as night boys, and so it's kind of like. That's the cool thing about nowadays is, it used to be that one time a year where we could let our geek flag, fly. And then now it's like, it's 24/7, man.
Yeah,
True.
that's actually a good point. Like, I feel like, yeah, I kind of dress up however I want to now, no matter what. But for me, it's a lot of times with the costumes, especially once I had to start wearing glasses, I like to be authentic. So like if the character doesn't have glasses and I don't have contacts, I can't do it. And then sometimes I'll just choose to not wear my glasses. I can't see anything. And basically at one year I had to have Myra lead me around essentially blind, because I just like if I'm gonna do it, I want it to be completely authentic. But I mean, like my the one year that I went as Dr. Decker from Nightbreed, I didn't have glasses back then. Although I probably needed them, come to think of it, but I wasn't wearing glasses back then. I could actually see through those little buttonholes. But yeah, I it's got to be authentic for me. So it's hard. It's very hard. Not a lot of characters have glasses that are cool.
The plight of the glasses kid, man.
Right?
That was tough. It was.
Very frustrating. And yeah, and then some kids, want to wear glasses and then can't, or like they don't need to wear glasses, but they're like, but I want to wear glasses. And they put their mom's bifocals on for a costume and then they screw up their eyes. So there you go. The rest is history. Diallo, you may not like to dress up, but I'm thinking you probably like candy on Halloween. And let's segue into our
great segue.
Thanks.
That was smooth.
It's almost like you've done this before, Zach.
It's all that practice of Comic-Con.
You're a pro. You are a pro.
Let's get into it. So by the way, really quickly, patreon.com/podcasting after dark or patreon.com/$2 late fee. That's a way you can contribute topics to 80s Kids Unite. Corey just happens to be a contributor and podcast Patreon to $2 late fee, and he suggested this topic tonight. So that's why we're covering Halloween candy, what we carried it in, Bingo Bango Tinga Tango. I'm going to segue into Diallo. Diallo, why don't you kick us off with the topic, favorite Halloween candy back in the day?
You're gonna segue into me? That sounds
I will segue any way I want to.
That sounds very intimate. My favorite candy, it's actually controversial. It's a very controversial take. So my favorite candy on Halloween is candy corn or any derivative. And I know there's a huge, like in the last few years, like there's like a whole, it's kind of like the, pineapple on pizza. They like people like, say they hate it. And I like it's feels like it's a trend. I feel like there's a trend for like candy corn, but it's one of those things I've never like I've only been recently introduced to the idea that people never liked it, But I love it. It's just to me it's like pure sugar. Like I don't know what the deal is.
Right.
And there's like pumpkin ones too, like any kind of variation on it. I love it. And that's probably like, and it's like the one time a year that I actually would eat it. So it was kind of like that's what because like you get Snickers and you get all the other stuff. I have that all year, right? But then like candy corn, it was like that one time was at Halloween and I get some. So I dig it.
Let me ask you though, there are variations, like you said. There's the pumpkin, there's the little pieces. Do you prefer one over the other?
I don't really prefer one or the other. Like, I mean, it's sort of like if you have like the OG original pyramid ones with the white, yellow, and red. I like those, but then it's like slipping in a pumpkin one kind of gives you a different profile, different flavor, if you will.
If you will.
Yeah, Diallo, I'm with you, buddy, 100%. And I would love to bite like the little white caps off the pyramid of the corn, and then get the next section. You know what I mean? And I loved the pumpkin ones too because they were just more sugar.
Diallo or Wayne?
So,
Go ahead, Diallo.
Oh no, go ahead, Wayne.
I had a bad experience, guys. This is
I had a bad experience.
This is one of those candies that I have an emotional reaction to, and so
Okay.
I don't. I think I mainly don't like it because when I was the age of 5, I had a candy corn stuck up my nose. So it was since that day they have been my enemy, and I just keep thinking about the fact that I had to go to the emergency room and have that thing tweezed out because nobody's fault, but this kid decided to see how far he could shove that thing up there and thought it could come out, and it didn't come out. And so it's not my proudest moment. It's a moment I've lived with for over 40 years. And to this day, when my wife, who adores candy corn, when she busts out the candy corn at this time of year, there's just that little like twinge. There's like a physical response to it when I see it every time. Yeah. I've tried it since, and it's like I'm like, oh no, I'm 5 again. And
so you're making like in my brain, I'm like visualizing a Pixar movie where it's like there's like a candy corn, and you have to like you guys are enemies at first because of what you're past it, and like over the course of the movie, you have to like come to grips and like grow together, and eventually you'll like the candy corn. You'll learn that that sometimes you have to let go of the past to embrace the truth of the present. But yeah, it's funny because it's like, it's like people say they don't like it, and it's totally fine with me too. It's like I don't like, I don't care. Like,
Right.
But it's
really
like
just
I like
like
it.
sugar, isn't it? It's just
it's just to me it's pure sugar. So I don't, but I kind of get like some people are like it's waxy, and I get that part. Like I just never had that issue with it. So
Well, if you don't like it, it just means more for me, babe.
Right. Yeah. Like, and where,
this is a safe space. I can open up here, guys. Thank you.
And
I appreciate
always Wayne.
One of the things I love about you guys is like, we talk about the things that we love often, but like, especially like Zach and Corey and I, like, we also really dislike certain things, right? But it's like we can say that we don't like it, and it's not like personal, it's like I like Corey can say what movie he loves, and I could be like, I hate that movie, but it's like both of us move on. Like it's just like he doesn't take
it's not
it as
detrimental
like,
to our friendship.
like, but he doesn't take it like as a personal affront. It's just like I just don't like something. So when I hear people say they don't like candy corn, I'm just like, oh, I mean, I like it. Oh well,
that's I didn't invent it. I didn't make that movie. So if you don't like it, I'm not offended by it. Now, if you say you don't like podcasting after dark or 80s Kids Unite,
that's a different.
I'll be offended.
That's a different.
That's true. And I will say, just to bring this to present day, I have candy corn creamer that I actually have in my coffee. So
that sounds disgusting,
and it is amazing.
That sounds like a little bit too much.
I'm just saying. Hashtag Good Pods. It's out there. You can buy it at your local Ralph's.
Maybe I'll swing by for some coffee or something, and I'll try it.
to go off of what Diallo said, though, there is nostalgia for things we dislike too. That's the thing. Is like that stuff takes you back also, like the bad movie experiences or the TV shows you had to avoid, and you knew it was bedtime whenever a certain show came on, and that's the thing for like candy corn's just become another part of my like funny stories. It's like I don't gotta eat it. I'm old enough to say nope, no thanks. But I go, but you know what happened, and then
that's a great story.
Well, let's segue into that, Diallo. What is your least favorite Halloween candy?
Yeah, and here we go. So it's I like anything black licorice, but like in particular, I think it was like Good and Plenty's
Yes.
or
Yeah.
Mike and Ike. Is
So
it
is
Mike
the
and
white,
Ike's, or
the
is
white
it
and
different?
purple ones, right?
Good and
Yeah,
Plenty.
yeah. And I can't just like the thought of it. Just like I don't like any black licorice, and it's one of those things I don't understand. But they make it, so obviously some people like it enough, But for me, I'm just like that is the worst.
Probably didn't help too that they were shaped like little pills,
Yeah. The coloring doesn't. It's not like.
white and
Yeah,
purple.
it's kind of like blat. It's kind of flat or something. It's not even like
Yeah.
enticing. It doesn't pull you in.
Yeah, what is that shade in Easter time? It's like
Pastel?
pastel purple. Yeah, pastel
Yeah.
purple, pink, and white, I believe, were the three different colors.
Yeah, the Good and Plenty's. Yeah.
Disgusting. Yeah, I mean, for some reason, my mom always got those because she was equating, I think, licorice being healthy because licorice was like a natural thing, right? And then, but it's good. Well, they're candy coated, but they're still healthy for you. Not really.
Yeah.
I liked Good and Plenty like in small doses. It like you eat like maybe 3 or 4 in the little fun size thing. I could never eat like a whole box of it, like a normal size box. But like you go to the movies or something, you see somebody munching on those things. Actually, I take it. I don't think I've ever seen Good and Plenty's in the wild, like ever. Do they really exist outside of Halloween?
They do. And fun. If you want to have some real fun with your grandma, change out her pills with Good and Plenty and see what happens to her.
It's how quick you kill her.
Just kidding. Do not do that.
JK.
Plot.
And Diallo, finally, what did you tote around your Halloween candy? And is this something you remember toting it around in back in the day?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of said that to you offline. Like, that's a little too specific for me. I didn't have any, like, I don't know, just you just show up to Halloween. It's like whatever. Sometimes it was a paper bag. Sometimes it was like a plastic bag with Halloween that someone like that was themed that I don't know. I can't even remember,
Right. Yeah, no.
I never had like a specific one. I think the one I remember the most is from the Charlie Brown Halloween special. I remember what those bags look like, but other than that, I don't really. Yeah, like I don't have any specific Halloween.
I think Corey did. I think
issues.
I think Corey does.
That's like such like it's an interesting comparison between when we grew up and now, because I feel like now anything that can be monetized is monetized, and they have all these different, just a bunch of different things, and no kid is going to just kind of walk around with a bag. They have something that's specifically made for Halloween. But back in our day, you maybe did have something that maybe lasted or whatever, but for the most part, you didn't, like some people didn't, some people did. Now everyone does, my nephew does. I think we gave him one of those McDonald's, Happy Meal ones that came out a couple of years ago, and now he uses that. And maybe in, 30 years, he'll have a podcast and talk about how he got that and used it,
Well, Corey, let's segue into you talking about it. Regale us with your favorite, least favorite, and tote bag.
Well, since we're talking about the tote bags right now, I'll just say it. I love, as a kid, and even now, one of my favorite colors is glow in the dark. And I had a glow in the dark little plastic, jack-o'-lantern with, painted black eyes and everything. But it had a spot in the bottom, like a little clip inside, where you could put a glow stick in there. So the whole thing would sort of like glow internally. And I used to love glow sticks as a kid too. I thought they were amazing. So like,
did you go to raves when you were a kid? Like a little kid?
Yeah, just spin it around. Actually, I've never been to a rave because I'm not cool, but I love that thing. And it was like, like that neon glow in the dark green, although it didn't glow in the dark, but it could, facilitate the light of the glow stick. So, that's probably why I had such fond memories of that. But kind of like, sort of like Diallo with the candy corn, it was like that time of year. I remember as a kid, one of my favorite, I love Twix, Snickers, all that kind of stuff. Great, awesome. But I discovered my love for Charleston Chews through a fun size. And it's I feel like it's such an old style candy too. You know what I mean?
Charleston Chewy is Chewy Louie.
Dude, it's vanilla in the middle and milk chocolate. And my wife always makes fun of me because vanilla is one of my favorite flavors. And she's like, "You're so white."
My Charleston Chewy's chewy. Louis. Oh, it is chewy, Louis. Louis?
Light nougat and a chocolatey coating make Charleston Chew.
Quite chocolatey and delightfully chewy. And you, Louis? Yeah, Charleston Chew is chewy Louie, but not too chewy.
That's why great people find great pleasure chewing Charleston Chew by Nabisco.
She's Latina, so she's like, you're so white. And I'm like, no, there's so many variations of vanilla. It's so good. But even to this day, I love Charleston Chews. I don't eat them that much, but it always kind of reminds me of Halloween because that's when I was like, oh, I'll try this. Okay. Oh my God, this is amazing. I never would have had it otherwise.
Wow. So there's a strawberry flavor, I believe, of Charleston Chew.
I think so. I like vanilla. And I think there's a
yeah.
chocolate one too, but I like the plain old normal vanilla.
All right. I mean, this explains why you had 24 cavities when you were a kid, because it just sits in your teeth. I mean, no, I'm sorry. I'm talking about myself. We'll get to that in a minute. And least favorite, Corey, what was your least favorite?
You know what? I was gonna say those wax lips and everything, but you get them like once, like only one person would get them. But what you'd get more of that I always hated, I hated gum, like getting gum, like little, like the little not Bubblicious, what was it, Bazooka or something?
Yeah,
and I'm
Bazooka.
like, I'm like, I eat gum all throughout the year, like in my garbage pail kid packs and stuff like that, and I'm like, I want. At Halloween, because I wasn't a big sweet kid. I'm still not. I don't snack a lot and I don't eat a lot of sweets. So I kind of only ate like chocolatey stuff like at Halloween and Easter. So I was like, I don't want gum. I can eat gum anytime. This is BS. Not to mention if someone gave you like the little toothbrushes, now that person they got their house egged. But yeah, gum.
Well, piggybacking off of a previous episode of $2 Late Fee where Dustin came back and with his brother Lance, he was suggesting buying Lance's book, Zed Moonstein, and giving that out as a Halloween gift. And I thought, wow, that's a very generous thing to give out brand new books. There is a guy though on our street not too far from us who gives out comic books and like old school comics back in the day, and that's not something you can eat, folks. Well, you're not supposed to, but anyways,
Corey, you made me think about, remember the gum that had it's like a little square and you take it off, there's like a little comic stripper in there.
Isn't that Bazooka?
Yeah, Bazooka.
Bazooka.
Yeah.
Was that Bazooka?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh yeah, Bazooka Joe.
It's the same consistency as the stuff you would get in baseball packs or whatever, that real hard, pink, like generic bubblegum flavor, which I didn't like, but I ate that all year long.
Yeah, with the powder on it.
Yeah,
like
the powder,
I thought the powder was actually the best part of it. Once the powder went, you're like, oh, it's disgusting. Yeah. Wow. Well, now we know what to get Diallo and Corey for Christmas and birthdays. It's Charleston Chew and candy corn.
I haven't thought about Charleston Chew in forever. I used to like that. Like, it's kind of the same as you. Like, I had never had it, but it was like, oh, and I ate it, and I probably wouldn't think about it again. Yeah. But like,
that's the beauty of Halloween, man. You just get this like pot of, candies you'd have to just try once and see if you liked it.
And now they make them as coffee creamers. So if there's a Charleston Chew coffee creamer, I'm getting it for Corey. Actually, that'd be amazing. I'm not gonna lie.
Hope they don't have Good and Plenty.
Oh, yeah, they do. It's called cough syrup. Wayne, how about you, Wayne? Favorite, and least.
Well, and incidentally, I a few years ago, for a couple of years, gave away comics. My local comic shop on the previews and stuff like that, you can actually purchase Halloween bundles where it was like a small little digest comic of like Archie comics and things like that you can like buy to hand out. And that was probably like my favorite Halloween of like handing out things. But I also threw in candy because if I can't just be like that guy. They'd be like, a book? Why do I get a book? And then you got eggs on your door.
That's funny. Remind me when we get to me some of the interesting things that people around us give out in Santa Monica. That'll be interesting. Man. Anyways, Wayne, please.
All right. So I was a pillowcase kid. So like I was a kid that would empty out the pillowcase, and I had literally, it was just like, sometimes it was a plain white, sometimes it was a floral pattern. But either way, that's what I would carry because you could just kind of twirl it around and sling it over your back and just kind of, walk down the street to the next house. And
you could also use this when you're running away. So.
Yes.
Well, that was the thing too, is like if you had like a bully come at you, you just swing it like a Thor hammer and then whack, and then just, you get going. So that was my thing, is like I would always kind of have just like the pillowcase, and I was a multi-trip kid often. So I would come home, dump out the candy into my bed, sling that thing back over, make a quick costume change, and then
Wow.
You're like, time for more
My
diabetes.
man, game in the system.
People be like,
Costume change.
you look really familiar. No, I know. I get that a lot. I
Nope,
get that a
I know
lot.
what you mean. I had a lot of work-based costumes where it was like, I'm a doctor, now I'm a lawyer,
That's funny.
But best candy. I was thinking about just in the Halloween theme of it all. I remember loving so much when I would get the Mr. Bones puzzle candy. And so Mr. Bones he came in a little coffin and you open it up and every little piece was like a sweet tart-esque,
okay. Yeah.
candy in a skeleton form, and you had to piece them together, and make the skeleton body, look at them for about 10 seconds, and then just start eating the pieces, and sometimes you had extras, and maybe you can make a couple of other like spare mutant body parts and that kind of thing. But Mr. Bones was just the highlight of the season. You get that, then you could keep the coffin.
Yeah.
And you can kind of like use it for your
like a
set
toy.
pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was cool. And they recently I think they made a Super 7 action figure of Mr. Bones.
Oh, cool.
Just like a year or two ago. And so you were able to kind of get him in action figure form. But
That's awesome. I remember him. I never pieced him together. He wouldn't survive. I would just eat him.
I crushed them up into powder and then snorted
Put 'em in
that
your
with
coffee.
Good and Plenty. I put some Good and Plenty and some. God.
Do you guys remember the single pack of Fun Dip when you sometimes get like the one pack? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
that one stick that you just keep.
Oh, that stick is
like
so
chalk.
great. Oh, I love the stick.
Wayne, what was your least favorite?
I was gonna say candy corn, but I haven't.
Well,
run it
yeah.
up. It was
Besides that.
The candy that tried to kill you.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
This candy, it immediately came out of my bag and straight into the garbage can. It was the peanut butter candies wrapped in black and orange wrapper.
Oh, I like those.
No, no identification.
No
name.
Generic. So generic.
Listen, I was taught to check my candy, and if it didn't have a name brand on it, it probably had a razor blade or angel dust in it. And I wasn't going to fall for that.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, the angel dust one, I
Right.
would take it.
Nobody gets warned about this stuff anymore. The news does not talk about razor blades in your Halloween candy or angel dust in your Tootsie Rolls. The kids just go out willy-nilly and go, trick or treating, and there's no PSAs anymore about checking your candy.
I had a whole discussion the other day with somebody about the 2 packs that you get at 7-Eleven, right? 2 for $1 or 59 cents each, and there was like circus peanuts. They were called haystacks. And like they were like coconut haystacks, and like all these like jelly beans, all these like random little things, Brock's, like the Brock's candies type things in a bag. And they're like, I don't remember those. I'm like, I guess I spent a lot of time at 7-Eleven. They're like, yeah, I guess you did. So, okay. So I will say quickly my least favorite. I'll start with that. Side note, in our area, there's a theme now every year where there's a one house gives out a potato, and if a kid gets a potato, it's like the best thing in the world. So last year, someone in our group got the potato. Like, we got the potato, and like, what? That's gonna get you excited? The kids these days. Kristen got an avocado because they had an avocado tree and they were giving out avocados. That's pretty awesome.
That's
adult trick-or-treating.
So Santa Monica.
God.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's like gold, though.
I know. Avocados are expensive, like $3 or $4 each. My least favorite candy, if you want to call it that, every year was getting sugar-free lollipops. And because there was a guy on our block who would give out sugar, and people were like, it was the one that it kind of was a loop at the bottom, so I guess you could wear it as a ring if you wanted to, but they were sugar-free lollipops. They're disgusting. I hated that. I don't like I don't like a thing that takes forever to dissolve in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just got to keep this in there for a while and it'll eventually taste good. No, I don't like lollipops other than maybe Dum Dums. But that for me is like kiss of death when it came to and whenever, we'd come back to the house with our haul and I'd be like, who wants these? And people were like, no, I don't want that. I'm like, please, somebody take the cursed lollipop.
Heaven forbid you throw it away, though. It's like, well, no, it's free candy. You can't just throw it away. Worst comes to worst, I'm gonna eat it in disgust.
No, it actually
desperation.
It comes back to
kids. There are kids starving in Africa, kind of like mentality that was driven into our heads then.
Anything sugar-free. I'd rather have a toothbrush over a sugar-free candy. Like, it has to have sugar in it. So that being said, my favorite candy, I was really torn because I had two and I was like, oh, this is so tough. But this one candy I only got on Halloween. So this is the one that I'm picking that I only got on Halloween because I didn't know they sold it in stores, and apparently they do. But I only remember getting these as a kid were bottle caps.
Oh, yeah.
Bottle caps were my absolute favorite. I waited the whole year. Like, Diallo waited the whole year for candy corn. I waited the whole year for bottle caps. And,
I wouldn't say that.
Well, I mean, I guess you could. Well, you could go to 7-Eleven and you get two for $1 or one for 59 cents each. The bottle cap flavors were cherry, orange, grape, but then you had cola and root beer. And the cola and root beer tasted just like cola and root beer powder version. And it was like you said, Corey, like that Fun Dip powder, basically pressed into a little cap. They were so good. And always, inevitably, there'd be one cola, one root beer, and like 3 oranges. And no one ever liked oranges because it tasted just like Dramamine, but it didn't have the same effect, unfortunately. That was my absolute favorite. And just like you, Wayne, I toted my haul around in a pillowcase. And funny enough, I had like a lucky special pillowcase. It was my mom's pillowcase. It had like frill, like crochet at the end of it that I used to like lay on the couch with and just hold when I was younger and just kind of play with the fibers because it felt comforting to me. But like that was what I took out at night. And I'm not going to say what I got called because it was like, what's that? I wanted that bucket from McDonald's, didn't get it. But I will say it was such an easy way to grab your stuff and get it in there. And, that was my favorite to haul around. Bottle caps. I will say quickly, Chuckles. If anyone's ever gotten Chuckles, those are the bomb.
Which one are Chuckles?
Chuckles were like 4 jellies, and it was like orange, green.
Oh, yeah.
And licorice.
Yes,
and
that's
red.
right. That's right.
My favorite Chuckles memory is on an episode of Night Court when Dan Fielding gets stuck in an elevator with 2 sumo wrestlers, and he's like, I may have some Chuckles in here somewhere, and then the sumo wrestlers go, Chuckles, and so every time I hear Chuckles, that's the way I hear it in my brain.
Wow.
Night Court, my second favorite sitcom after Seinfeld. So good. I do want to throw out real quick, just near us, because you guys are talking about in Santa Monica, these interesting giveaways. We live in the apartment complexes, but there's all these like pretty expensive houses around us, and one of the houses, apparently, I guess the person who owns the house also owns a Dairy Queen, so they give out these little tokens where you basically get a free Blizzard, and that's the house everyone wants to hit up and everything.
I'd be making 2 trips to that house.
Yeah, no kidding. Wayne shows up as a garbage man. I'm here to take your garbage and whatever treats you got.
Hey, big kid.
Do I know you, son?
Been here 3 times.
You've been here before.
Where Diallo and I live, not too far from where we live, there's a street called Montana, and it's kind of like the ritzier part of Santa Monica. And there are some houses down those streets that are ridiculous with the gifts they give out. And one guy gave out iPads one year. This is not an urban legend. This is fact. He would give out iPads to kids.
This. Yeah, because remember, I still actually lived closer to Montana Street than you guys did when Diallo and I did, essentially.
This is why we have ungrateful people in our country, because we get things and you're just like, oh, I got an iPad.
I was going to say, that's the street where you get like the full candy bars at the houses, but no, that's the street where you get the iPads. That's how much money is there.
I have a friend that his whole deal is giving out the actual big candy bars every year. So pretty soon I'm going to see on social media him like at Costco with the big like crate of candy. So that's legit. I like that.
Yeah, I hold great respect to my Flip City co-host Greg, because he is a full candy bar sized house, and he hands out, that's like he has a child in middle school, and that's like a point of pride for him. He's like, my house is full size candy bars, and so they're able to go. But I have to give an honorable mention to another candy that is it's not PC right now. But
Charlie
I will tell you
Chan's?
this.
Charlie Chan's?
No! I was going to say
What?
Monster Candy cigarettes.
Oh,
yes, I
yeah,
loved
dude.
those. Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
it's just like literally just as a kid, just the '80s, man. We're just so
Stick of
wild.
sugar. It's just a stick of sugar. It's so
Here's
good.
a cigarette. You know what I mean? It's like
Well, they had two kind of versions. You're talking about the one that's like chewable and you could eat it, or the gum.
so there was the kind where it was like a hard stick, and that was
Right.
the monster ones. So you open those;
Okay.
those all had a universal monster on them. So they had
Oh.
Frankenstein or Dracula or the werewolf, and then there was another kind that they had different names, but they were a direct like rip off of a cigarette company. Like it would have like the same
Yeah,
thing.
like a Lucky
Those-
Strike or something. Look like Lucky Strike,
Yeah.
but not Lucky Strike,
Yeah.
you know?
And
Yeah.
those had sugar inside the wrapper. So the
Right.
very first time you put it in your mouth, you could puff it. And there was a cloud of
Yes.
smoke
Yeah.
teaching us all how to
Right.
be cool in the 80s. And mom, that was it. I never had anything else except for those. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I mean, so the ones I had, I remember it looked like a Lucky Strike box, but they were just like sticks of sugar. They weren't wrapped individually. You could
Yeah, those are the
unwrap the
monsters.
whole thing.
Those are like the monster ones. Yeah.
Right, but it was, I would have loved it if it was Universal Monsters, but it was like a generic cigarette looking thing. I loved them. I would get them once in a blue moon from the Good Humor Man or whatever, you
Dude.
know.
The Good Humor Man. Y'all don't remember Charlie Chan's? They came,
I do.
So there was lemon heads. There were lemon heads, in which you probably all remember those.
Yeah.
Then they made Alexander the Grape, which were the grape ones.
yeah.
And then they made, Cherry Chan's, which were like the cherry ones. And then they had Boston baked beans, which, I always thought were real beans. My mom be like, "Are you eating vegetables?" I'm like, "Yeah, beans." No,
Were they just caramels or something?
it was like it was just candy coated
Candy.
candy.
Okay, because I remember like all the candies that you said. I just don't remember like the Charlie Chan part.
Yeah, Cherry Chan. There was Cherry Chan, not Charlie Chan. Sorry.
Yeah. But they were
Still
definitely
racist,
very-
though. Still racist.
I thought you were like Charlie. I was like, what?
It was like you could. I didn't know you could make a candy racist, but you definitely did with
Right.
the cherry chance. Those were not.
I
Good
do
choices.
have a little controversial grenade to drop in here
Uh-oh.
before we end up because you were talking about lollipops,
Yeah.
Zach, and it made me kind of think, and I never thought about this till you said it, but I actually feel like we were all brainwashed into liking Tootsie Roll Pops.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
Agreed.
But I do
And I
like
was just
Tootsie
thinking
Roll
about
Pops.
it. Yeah, it's like if you gave this is the funny thing. If you gave me one now, I would eat it. But I also would have that. It was also like the sensation was the center or whatever never fit with the outside.
Right, it's like chocolate with grape doesn't really go together.
Yeah. I still like if you gave me one now, I would eat it. But I'm also like as I'm saying, I think I was brainwashed. I was what do you call it? The Stockholm
licks.
syndrome.
Oh, yeah,
I was Stockholm syndrome into like into like liking them, and it was like an entire marketing campaign to make us to like it. So,
Diallo, where are you
it's
going?
Undisputable.
Tootsie Pop. Where are you
Yeah.
going? Tootsie Pop.
How many
you can't
licks
dispute.
does
If
it
you like
take?
it, I'm just gonna like disregard what you're saying. It's like it's because you were programmed.
Yeah, I agree.
We were all programmed, yeah.
Yeah.
Those were all in the category of lollipops that just wrecked your mouth. Like it
Right.
was like that and like blow pops and stuff where like after
Yeah.
a while of getting like now they're just like scraping against the roof.
Yeah.
And then like you get a chunk of it that hasn't dissolved enough yet, and it's like
Oh,
stuck
yeah.
in your tooth, and you're like,
Yeah.
what's going on? And the rest is history. This is the dentist episode for 80s Kids Unite.
Brought to you by the American Dental Association.
Right. Everyone watching, and if you are watching, please hit the subscribe button. Watching or listening to this episode, what are your favorite Halloween candies and least favorite? And what'd you tote them around in? Let us know in the comments and the show notes. Go to our Instagram pages. Links are in the show notes for all our stuff and all that kind of thing, as Egg Shen would say from Big Trouble in Little China. One of my favorite lines. I'm going to use that pretty much from now on, all that kind of thing. Guys, this was eye-opening, disturbing, and makes me hungry at the same time.
Wayne's gonna need his therapy bill. He's gonna have to unravel that whole incident that you had when you were a kid.
Yeah, note to
wouldn't
kids.
come out. It wouldn't come out.
Do not stick food up your nose. Do not stick anything.
Did it go like pointy end up? Or did it go
Yes!
like okay, yeah. So then you're basically just seeing like the butt end of it sticking out. But how deep did it go?
It went pinky length in.
Holy moly! So up in your sinus cavity, essentially.
Yes, and it could not, and like literally, it required a hand of a I don't want to say surgeon, but some ER doctor or nurse just to like pull that baby out. And I was 5. I was crying. I was upset, and I was like, no. And it was just that was the worst experience I had with food. That ever. Second best is a different story for another day.
Wow.
That ER doctor is still alive. He's like probably telling that story still. Like every Halloween, every single one time
this kid came in with a doctor outfit, and then he came back 5 hours later in a postman outfit, and then he was a firefighter later in the day.
That doctor could. Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry,
it's okay.
No, I was like that doctor could have told his kids not to like eat candy corn, and then that's how it spread to the rest of the world.
I'm pretty sure I've been the example story for a lot of families for a lot of different reasons.
And all those kids eat sugar-free lollipops now, and they're all bitter because they got the worst candy in the world. Or good and plenty.
Or good. I was gonna say good and plenty.
Yeah. So let us know what you like, dislike, all that good stuff, and have a happy, safe Halloween, everybody. If you don't go out, if you stay home, watch some great scary movies. Enjoy the time. It only comes around once a year, or in people's cases here in Burbank, they live it 24/7. So we've got like Halloween Town in Burbank. Happy Halloween, everybody. Enjoy, be safe, be well, love y'all, and see you next time on 80s Kids Unite. Bye.
Late.
As mothers begin shopping for Halloween 1980, it's a good idea to keep several handy hints in mind for the good of your kids. Just like when you're shopping for trick-or-treats, it's a good idea to accompany your children on their trick-or-treat rounds, even follow them in your car closely so nobody will bother them. Police say it's a good idea to limit your trick-or-treating to your own neighborhood and limit it to daytime hours if possible. But if you must trick-or-treat at night, visit only well-lighted houses and don't allow your youngsters to visit homes of known cranks, because a Halloween prank could backfire. When shopping for costumes, look for light, bright colors and costumes that are short enough so your youngsters won't trip on them. And for added protection, decorate them with reflective tape or carry reflective bags so they glow in the beam of a car's headlight. And be careful of masks. The effect is good, but they do cut a youngster's vision. This year, why not try face makeup? They're the big in thing right now, and they can be creative. And finally, a word about candy. A good rule to follow this year is to tell your youngsters to take only candy that is wrapped, and personally check apples and other fruit before letting your youngsters eat it. Now, authorities say if you want a super safe Halloween in 1980, it might be a good idea to avoid trick-or-treating altogether and throw a party in your home or at your church. Either way, if you follow our simple Halloween safety tips, you'll have probably a safer trick-or-treat in 1980.
80s Kids Unite is brought to you by Hungry Hungry Hippos, the loudest tabletop game in history. And by Nickelback, Zach's favorite band. If you'd like to suggest topics for this show, go to the Patreon of either $2 late fee or Podcasting After Dark, or both. All links are in the show notes. We love you.
Oh, listen, I just wanted to say goodbye and remind you that the good guys always win, even in the 80s.